Hi everybody, this is Gabby at Disco Spine Craft, and today I'm going to walk you through some of my stash plans for all of this yarn that I have that needs to be created with. So here we go. I have 4 skeins of this Cory Confetti by La Bien-Aimée, and this is an older colorway of hers called Amy's Peach Sweater #1 from summer of 2022. So I have this it's like a beautiful soft peach, a little like cooler tone peach with a lot of beautiful flecks in it. And I have 4 skeins of it that I want to make into some kind of a slipover, because I originally purchased this thinking I would make a sweater for my child. And then she just like straight up never wore the pullover I made her. So I was like, okay, you're at this age, not very knit worthy for a giant garment. Well, not giant, but relative to my time and energy investment. So she gets accessories right now until she's getting a little bit older and can appreciate a sweater make. But so now I have this yarn left over, and I think I have enough yardage for a slipover because each of these skeins is 250 yards. So I think that takes me about 1,000 yards, and I think that's gonna be wonderful. The color's not really like picking up super well in here, but yeah, I'm kind of excited for this. I love the tweediness, and I think having like a plain slipover, like doesn't have texture, will allow all these beautiful colors to pop. And I've been looking for which one might work best, and I have a couple favorites that I'm kind of torn between. The first one I really like is called Hazel Slipover, and that's by Along Avec Anna, and it's just a really sweet like normal neck, sort of, it's like a little bit of mock neck because the rib is really thick here compared to like her shoulder ribbing. But I love that it's just a plain stockinette body because that's what I'm envisioning. And another one that I really am seeing that I like is Moonset Slipover by Ozetta. And this has a lot of stockinette work, but it has a nice V-neck shape to it. So the V-neck is really nicely done, or it like kind of crosses over each other to make it like a very finished little detail. And I really like how this looks. I think I have to just decide whether I want V or like crew neckline. And yeah, we'll see. I might go a little rogue and make this other one I see that's really fun called Cocoon Choki by Noriko Ichikawa. She is, she appears to be a Japanese artist. And I found this just on Ravelry, and it's like kind of a great, it's got a lot of thick ribbing at the edges, but it's more like a interesting like shell like throw over. Like the shaping is very like boxy. So I think that could be a very, it could translate well with this yarn. Again, a nice big panel of stockinette for the yarn to shine, and just be a little bit more of an interesting statement in terms of like the design that she's created with it. So I guess I have 3 to choose from. I don't know which one to do, but that's what I'm thinking. The next sweater that I really want to make from my stash that I purchased yarn for specifically is the Big Cozy Cardi by Andrea Mowry. I have the gray and green tone. I think this is the combo that she made her like release sample photos with, because I really loved how that looked. And this is all Farmer's Daughter fibers. No, the green yarn is the Odang from Farmer's Daughter, which is the alpaca. And the gray yarn that I showed you is a different company. Bear with me. This one was Skydance Fibers. So this is like another beautiful like steel slate grayish, and really nicely paired here. So when she released that, I saw those colors and I was like, I just love it. And I really wanted to do it. I even made a swatch, so I know that I'm ready to go. And funny story about all this is that I made this swatch in like 2022. So this yarn for the Cozy Cardi, the yarn that I already showed, the Cory Confetti, and maybe another bit, all were purchased in 2022 because I was towards the end of my pregnancy with my second child, and I was like, you know, winter's coming right after she's born, and I'm just going to be kind of, you know, nursing constantly. And when my first daughter was born, I nursed and knit and just was kind of like housebound a little bit, because it was that era of newborn life and unfortunately COVID. So I was able to like do a lot of knitting while either maybe she was nursing or napping and things like that. So I prepped like, I'm gonna get this myself ready for the second postpartum period. I'm gonna make some beautiful snuggly things to wrap myself in. And that was really a naive choice of mine, because, you know, I was pregnant and nursing and having to deal with my older child at the same time, a thought that somehow magically escaped my mind. So yeah, these sweaters have not been created. Now these kids are a little bit older, I have a little bit more time on my hands to handle big projects, and I really want to dive into this stash stuff. So I've got cozy cardi, and I've got this slipover and a few more things to show you. So the next few ones I want to show you are sock plans. I would love to try to participate in the Ooey Gooey knit along for the sock weekend that's happening around Thanksgiving. And I have plenty of that type of yarn to pull from, so I kind of have no excuse. I recently, while I was like stash organizing and diving, found that I have a bunch of leftover hedgehog fibers from when I made my Thanksgiving socks like a long time ago. So this colorway, unfortunately I don't have the tags anymore for what they are, but I have this colorway here. It's definitely like blue dominant, but is very speckled throughout. There's like light yellows, pinks, very rainbow. It's really really cute. I don't know if you can, I'm leaning in because I don't know if you could totally get a look at it. It's lovely. And then these are somewhat similar. This is like a gray base and this is a white base that have like the same speckles. So when I made that Thanksgiving sock, I held these together throughout, and it just didn't have like the marled effect I wanted, because these two both have so much going on. So I think if I were to ever go back to that, I would hold two maybe like solid colors together and allow that effect to take place nicely, because it just looks very busy the way I did it, but they still are quite cozy and I like them. But I feel like in my hand there might be enough here to do the like sock bodies. So between these ones, I feel like there's lovely correspondences between these hedgehog fibers and that Fiber MacGyver Minis pack. It's called the Key West bundle. And there's definitely some cool, very fun contrasts happening. I would love to see maybe this light green or this like more Kelly looking green become one of the slime motifs. And maybe they get paired together with something that will allow that contrast to really shine. So for example, I don't think I would put like these two together just because blues and blues, but what if I did like the orange with that blue and like really let it show that motif? So when it comes to these ones, maybe just like doing this on camera, maybe like this pink and this white. Oh my goodness. It could be really fun. I am a little unsure with like how busy these are, if the motif would show well even though these are solid. So I would probably maybe, you know, see how it goes, draft up the cuff and see if I like what's going on before I continue on with the rest of the sock. So that's another plan. Another thing I could do is use backstock of the sock squad I got, again, in the dream of having all this time to knit after I had a baby. I have this Farmer Sweater Fibers set, and I love this like orange, it feels like kind of like butternut squash colored, and then this green, it's like a very like blue toned dark green, which is really cute. I think that they're a lovely little pair together, and they would definitely let the motif show up. I just have to like maybe understand that this won't be like the neon version that I'm dreaming of, but I have other neons, so it's like I have like a demure one and then I have a playful one. So I think that's a really fun option. I also have a quantity for an entire shawl that I specifically got to do the Scout shawl. So this is a shawl that's like all over colorway blocks, and they are a little bit like off alignment from each other, very patchwork. So it goes back to like that quilting look that has been popular and just like patchwork colorwork knitting. So you have all these different panels that come together in a beautiful way. And this is the colors that I had chose at the time when I shopped for it. So very soft tones and very like natural looking. So I have like a light gray, greenish brown, a green, a darker rose, and a peach. And that's very similar to the colors that the artist uses in her photos. Let me pull up her name. Okay, her name is Florence Sparling. And I just discovered that she has a Scout mini shawl. Oh my gosh. So yeah, if you have other maybe leftovers, you can make a Scout mini. Now I'm imagining stuff for the future. So I have the plans for a Scout as well. I have everything I need, just have to get off my butt and do it. So the yarns for the Scout shawl that I picked up are from Into the World Yarn and Fiber Co. And these are the Pakoku sock, and it is really soft and lovely. I just made a beanie from some DK yarn from Into the World and was really pleased with it. And so all of these are from Into the World together, and I'll let you know the names of the colorways. This is Creamsicle, nice little peachy one. This like nice rose color is called Tyler. I've got this one here. Oh, actually this one's not Into the World. Let me take a pause. This is Cypress, this like light greenish brown. And then this one is, oh my goodness, this is called 4077th, this green. I really like this green, it's lovely. It makes me want to like look up why they named it that. This lighter color one is called Tart Fingering Yarn by Miss Babs. Don't mind the kitty. And this is in the color Coastal Fog. So this is like a very soft gray with like a warmer beige undertone. So all that together will become my Scout. You want to say hi, bud? Oh, okay. Come here. Say hi. Big boy. I got a big old tabby. Say hi. This is Utah. He wants lunch. He's a lunch boy. He's a lunch boy. Oh. Also, as a side note, I did not knit my sweater I'm currently wearing, but I love it. I found this on Poshmark, and it's like a patchworked sweater with a lot of really fun elements to it. You could see the paisley, the florals. Let's see if I can stand up. Yeah, there's some checkers. Look how special this is. So this is like a cotton rainy blend, but I found it so inspiring that I was like, I do want to own it. I really have like an affinity for buying some knits secondhand, because some of the design that was happening with like even commercially made sweaters in the 80s and 90s was so fun, really great. So I'm very inspired by all these colors and these patterns, and it feels very much like the Scout shawl that I talked about. Yay. And my last batch to show you is a set of yarn that has really kind of encouraged me to get into the habit of going to my stash first when I have an itch to make a project, because I have this, I have quite a few skeins of this grayish sort of yarn, nice and soft, and this lovely like muted sort of rainbow. It's got a lot of purple hues to it, but it has a lot of transitions to like pink and green and blue, but very like soft. Yeah, there you can see it. So these two I got, and I have all of them, I have the whole stash wound. I can't find the labels, which is such an annoying little thing. I know I have probably all of the labels for them in a bag somewhere. It's just like in the stash, and I just have to go through it carefully, because you know I have like a bag with like every one of them in there, and when I flipped through I didn't think that I saw it, but Anyway, these were supposed to be for a metamorphic pullover. There's enough here to make that. And then as I was doing this kind of like stash reevaluation, what do I want to start? What do I need to get done? Because it's just sitting here in a pile. I was like, I don't know if I really even want a metamorphic anymore. And that's what's so like motivating, honestly, to do this work is like get into that mindset like when you're feeling it. And like that's when a lot of us can get wrapped up in like new that feeling of newness, the castonitis, the excitement that you get when you are on the hunt, when you're researching, you are planning, you are picking colors, doing the ordering, like all of that stuff is very fun. And sometimes you spend so much energy doing that that it almost like fills, it's like scratches that itch. It like fills that need to do that you were searching for. And then so I procrastinated. I didn't do it when I was like had the mojo to do it. And then now I'm like, oh, do I even really want that pullover? Like I don't feel like as called to it as I once did. So I do want to like in the future capitalize on when I'm feeling inspired and like when I'm feeling motivated and locked in, and enjoy that feeling, enjoy that process, but really be mindful about like how much I'm consuming, because if you're not mindful, it gets you here where you have plenty of materials to be making. I don't need to go start any new fresh things. But, you know, Rhinebeck comes around, or, you know, you are out walking one day and you're like, oh, I'm actually just 10 minutes from my favorite yarn shop, and love to support all these people. But like, I have already spent money on craft supplies, on yarn, and I do want to practice my craft with it. Like I have no excuse to like not see through these projects. And so I heard somebody, I was listening to a video on a different topic, but they were saying, I keep the promises that I make to myself. And I was like, wow, that is a really beautiful mantra for life. And this feels like appropriate for that. Like I keep the promises that I make to myself because I respect my craft and I respect my experience here. And I want to follow through on these promises. So I think in order of if I can make some plans for what I'm doing, I think the socks will happen first if I can get them wound in this time period, the Thanksgiving time, to start that. And then maybe Big Cozy Cardi. I would love to just be able to like wrap up in that. And then the shawl. And then I think for maybe the slipover could happen next, because slipovers could kind of carry into spring. I have to kind of evaluate, like I have to be honest about my time, like what I want to do. All that being said, the tale of like these metamorphic haul, I'm gonna look into like what other patterns this would be applicable to. So if I can find those stash tags, I will have a more accurate understanding of how much yardage I have. But I think I could try to shoot for something else that is a little bit more appealing to me. I've always liked how the Alpenglow looks, so I could maybe apply this to that, and just try not to order like the mohair for the neckline. I don't know. I just want to maybe make use of these things in a responsible way, and in a way that like honors the commitment I have to my knitting. So let me know in the comments if you've gone through like similar experiences where you've evaluated what you have in your stash and kind of had an honest check-in with yourself about like why did I accumulate all this, and how do we get here? What do I do next? And the what do I do next is knit. I'm gonna be knitting a lot this season, so I look forward to sharing more of those journeys with you on this channel. And let me know in the comments if you want to see more stash walkthroughs, stash planning. Again, love to hear from y'all, and thanks for watching. Bye.